LSU and Ole Miss. Always a great game. Like you said, it always delivers. Let's look at the last two matchups. Last year in Death Valley, a night game. Obviously, Kyron Lacey won it with a walk-off touchdown in overtime. Rest in peace, Kyron Lacey, by the way. Sad story. We're not going to get into that right now. But LSU did not lead for a single second in that game, and they won. Crazy that happens. It rarely ever does. Year before that, LSU took Jane Daniels, Brian Thomas, and Malik Neighbors into Oxford and got outgunned by Jackson Dart and this Ole Miss offense. That was a awesome game. Amazing. I remember that game because it was the same night as my homecoming dance, and my eyes were glued to the TV.
It was also Ole Miss State.
It was? But my eyes were glued to the TV watching that game the whole time. It was awesome. Interesting stat about this matchup. The Magnolia Bowl, by the way, one of the historic rivalries in the SEC. The home team has won the last 5 games. So that bodes well for Ole Miss. Going into the year with LSU, I had a lot of opinions on the Tigers. But offensively, the main concern I had was this offensive line. It was their strong suit last year. They were so good. Last year in this game, Garrett Nussmeier dropped back to pass, I think, over 50 times, did not get sacked once. But they reloaded their offensive line. They got a lot of guys that left. So far this year, their pass protection has been pretty good. But they have not been able to consistently run the football. That's the main problem that I see. That's the reason why this LSU offense has not looked as explosive as it's been made out to be. I think that they need to give Garrett Nussmeier some help if LSU wants to really succeed in the SEC this year. And by that, I mean be able to run the ball a little bit. Don't make it so that he has to throw the ball 50-plus times because that's a little unfair to ask any quarterback to do. There's Ohio State, Washington. So that's going to be interesting to see. With Ole Miss, the starting quarterback has been named as Trinidad Chambliss. I love that.
Me too.
I think Austin Simmons is so overrated. I said at the beginning of the year, I might just be me hate watching, but he hasn't proven anything in my mind. And everyone's talking about like he's this great quarterback. He was a 3-star recruit. He did nothing last year other than play like 10 snaps versus Georgia. And he threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter against Kentucky. And
Tua 2.0. Tua 2.0.
Exactly. I think it's ridiculous. So I think this is the right move to start Trinidad Chambliss. He's so explosive.
He's great.
That's a really. And by the way, I know we've shouted out Lane Kiffin so many times on this podcast for being just an unbelievable offensive coach. The fact that he can take a Ferris State transfer who's never even sniffed the SEC before and turn him into this dynamic player is great. Their offense has been unstoppable with him at the helm. So I really trust the Ole Miss offense in this game. But they are going against a unit. This LSU defense is so good. Blake Baker has done such a good job with this LSU defense. What's interesting is Whit Weeks has sort of taken a step back this season. He had the targeting call against Florida. He hasn't been as prominent. But West Weeks, his brother, has been just as good. He leads their team in tackling. Their linebackers are so good. Their secondary is so good. They've been so awesome this year.
They're so deep.
I really, really like this. This LSU unit, if I'm looking at LSU offense, LSU defense, Ole Miss offense, Ole Miss defense, LSU defense is the unit I trust the most out of those. Now we get to the one I haven't talked about yet, and that's the Ole Miss defense. I am really concerned about the Ole Miss defense, especially when it comes to stopping the run. They have not been able to stop the run at all this year. They're dead last in the SEC in rushing yards allowed per game. Kentucky kind of tore them up. Arkansas tore them up on the ground. So this is a big opportunity for LSU to really, for Kane Durham and this rushing attack to really break out. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, most people are really riding the Ole Miss bandwagon on this game. And I have been lower on LSU than most of the media has been. I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs. But give me the Bayou Bengals with that defense, with a Caden Durham breakout game to go on the road against Lane Kiffin and take down the Rebels. It's going to be an awesome game. I've got LSU.
Okay. This is the Whit Weeks Landry Kiffin game. If you have paid attention to social media at all, Lane Kiffin's daughter and Whit Weeks are now dating.
I saw that.
Been the talk of Twitter, TikTok. I mean, it has been blowing up my phone. And so this is the Whit Weeks Landry Kiffin game. Lane came out and said Landry's pulling for the Revs. But yeah, they are now dating. I just want to give a shout out to Lane Kiffin, doing the right thing, making Trinidad Chambliss the starter. He's looked super impressive to me. He's looked better than Austin Simmons. And while I feel like it doesn't really matter which quarterback you got out there, because Lane Kiffin's offense just works so well, Trinidad Chambliss has looked better, and against better competition, to me, Kentucky and whatever other team that
Georgia State.
Yeah, it was Georgia State. Kentucky and Georgia State versus Arkansas and Tulane. To me, Arkansas and Tulane are better teams. I feel like Arkansas is a little better than Kentucky. Is their defense better? No, but that was a tough battle. Trinidad Chambliss has been the man. So that's what I got. He's looked so mobile. He's put himself in a Heisman contender spot now. He's put himself in a Heisman contender spot, but now he's got to face this LSU defense. What they've done, so improved. They haven't faced a real mobile quarterback yet. Trinidad Chambliss can run the ball. He can pass. He can do a little bit of everything. I know he's a Ferris State transfer. By the way, how about what Lane's done with the transfer portal? Come to the SIP. They've said that so much. Just unbelievable. Also LSU. Two teams that are just loaded with transfer portal players, and we're gonna get to see them. So what I look at: elite offense, elite defense. Elite offense, elite defense. One of those classic matchups where you have one offense that has excelled, but hasn't played a defense like this. So we're gonna get to see. And this LSU defense hasn't played an offense like Ole Miss. Clemson, everybody thought was going to be really good. Haven't been so good offensively. Haven't had a lot of guys emerging like we thought we would be seeing. You mentioned how good Wes Weeks has been. I was watching some of his tape versus Florida, and he was thrown in that game after Whit Weeks was hurt. Not thrown in, but was asked, "Hey, you're the linebacker now. You're the man," and he was great. He was amazing. He's a tackle machine. He's been really good. I agree. Tigers are going to lean heavily on the run game. Ole Miss has not been good against the run game. You talked about Arkansas. The reason why the Kentucky game was close was because of the run game, in my opinion. The way Kentucky was able to run the ball, they weren't amazing running the ball, but it kept them in it, having that run game. And we haven't even talked about LSU's offense yet. It has not been very efficient, as you said. The defense, obviously, the exact opposite. Excuse me. It is late. So there's many different. There's so much going around. There's so much that is thrown around. Something crazy is Ole Miss has 5 different wide receivers with 130 plus yards. You don't see that a lot in this college football day and age. I think that is crazy. To me, LSU has gotten a little lucky in some matchups playing some inferior opponents with their offense not providing much. The Florida game, Lagway threw 5 picks. They leaned on him to throw it 50 times. If you have a better game plan, I think Florida could definitely walk out as winners. And then the Clemson game, their just offense, nobody stepped up, wasn't efficient enough. I think Saturday, it changes. I think Ole Miss, their offense is too much. I think LSU's going to be able to run the ball. They're going to be able to pass the ball too. I just like Ole Miss. I think somebody on the defense makes a play late. I don't know who it is. They make a play late. Maybe it's Prince Will Umanmiel and the brother of Princely Umanmiel, and maybe he makes a play. Maybe somebody makes a play, gives Ole Miss the ball back. They're able to take a 2-score lead. I think it's going to be a great game. I just have more confidence in the Rebs from what I've seen. I think it's going to be an amazing matchup. Another game we are splitting hairs. I feel like I'm splitting hairs, and we are splitting sides on. So, yeah.
No, I like that.
It's going to be great.
Another thing I like about this game, I love these two coaches. I know a lot of the college football Puritans out there don't love Brian Kelly. They don't love Lane Kiffin, but But how about a good old-fashioned Brian Kelly press conference? How much fun are those? I love him so much. I love that he's got that passion. Obviously, he's not the best coach, and I'm not saying he's my favorite, but I love to see those. And how about Lane Kiffin with the assist on the alley-oop to one of his guys last week? That's so much fun. I love both these coaches. I love this matchup. I love Lane Kiffin going in and griping about how this game's 2:30 and it's not a night game. I think they both have so much passion. I always love when these two teams
It was
see each
going
other.
to be 2:30 or 11 o'clock all along. You know, you kind of knew that they wouldn't make two premier SEC games at the same time at night. It just wouldn't be right.
I still just love him griping about it. I think that's awesome.
I understand.
I love Lane Kiffin.
Lane has done that a lot.